pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Brenda, may we please have roll call?
Absolutely. Counselor Andrews.
Present.
Counselor Catalani.
Here.
Counselor Flegel.
Here.
Counselor Caroli.
Here.
Counselor Rydell.
Here.
Counselor Trichet.
Here.
Counselor Scheer.
Here.
Mayor Miller.
Here.
We have a full house.
Great. Just a reminder to please silence all cellular devices during the meeting. Thank you. Council members, if you haven't already, please turn on your microphones. Borough Council held an executive session prior to this evening's meeting to discuss personnel issues as permitted by the Pennsylvania Sunshine Act. Any official action resulting from the executive session will occur during a public meeting. No special visitors scheduled for tonight, so that takes us to public comment period number 1. Please state your name and address for the record and try to limit your comments to 5 minutes.
Bill, will you turn the mic on, please? Bottom button. And this would be Dave McCloskey at 212 East Ridge Road.
Obviously, I've been up here too many times. I'm here to let Roger know that my conversations with the Hackett family, they've decided against going, which is, at least they were willing to talk and negotiate a little bit. I understand their concerns. As I look back on this whole situation, and I've tried not to point fingers at anybody, but tonight I'm going to point fingers at not anyone in particular. I don't want to be that person, but I think there's some deficiencies that have occurred, including with us borough residents with this particular issue. We did not show up soon enough when there was a development going in to voice our concerns, though our concerns were well known to the council. Now, a lot of you were not on council when these things came to light. Some of you were. This has been an ongoing issue with water. We've addressed it with council numerous times. We've brought pictures, we've brought videos, you name it. And council's been receptive, but we've gotten nowhere. We have an individual that came in and wanted to develop a piece of land. It went through zoning, it went through planning, it went through our engineer, yes. And then was brought to council, and everybody said go, as a group. There were some that were against, but that brings me back to, as I have come to meetings, I hear it's not a borough problem. It is. We've brought it to you before. We've got a development. The issue has gotten worse. It's a borough problem. I'm a resident of the borough. Mr. Berry is a resident of the borough. All these other people, I'm assuming, are residents of the borough. They have concerns. We've got to figure out a way to eliminate this issue. I've had this issue for 30-plus years. It's run its course with me. I'm tired of it, and I'm sure you're tired of me being up here talking about it. But we've got to come to some consensus on how we're going to move forward, who we're going to involve, and how we're going to get it done. I've put myself available to talk with anybody about any issues that are there, explain what I've seen. A lot of folks have pointed at the developer. I'm not pointing fingers at him. He's put in what he said he was gonna put in. But there's some shortfallings that have happened by not thinking outside of the development. And that's where we have the stormwater issue. My area is not the only stormwater issue in the borough. I understand that. But it's been a major one for a while. And whatever we can come together with and get this solved, I would greatly appreciate it. And I'm sure you would greatly appreciate not hearing from me again. Any questions for me?
No, but we will never get tired of hearing from residents, so don't ever think that.
Well, I could say I'll try to bring something different next time, but then I'd be bitching.
No, that's okay. But as a council, you should always want to hear from residents.
Right.
This is
That's why
true.
we're here.
That's why we're here, exactly.
This is true. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bill Zeiders, 333 East Main Street. I'm here to address a lot of things, and one is right exactly what he was saying. That water laying up there on that curb and that, this winter, somebody's gonna be in real trouble when they hit that ice. It's coming out of that new development, there's no drainage to stop it, it comes down and lays in that corner. And that's ridiculous. The man should have never been given a permit to put that development in, because the entrance to going in and out is on a blind hill. You cannot see the people coming over the hill from Gravel Hill Road. That whole thing should have been a lot more investigated. And I'm here to bring up other things of maybe bringing charges against the borough for theft of services, because I'm tired of not getting nothing done around our houses. And that you're still on Maple Street, there's piles of leaves that were never picked up, and they're sitting there, the man's stuck with them.
Where on Maple Street?
Down near Forge. There's 4 or 5 piles sitting there, I believe,
East or West Maple?
east. The alley behind the Italian restaurant there on Railroad Street. There's a hole back there 3 to 4 feet deep if you go in it with your car, and nothing's being done. Not even a cone set there so you don't hit it. And then our next problem is we need to do something about Sheetses. These kids backing their trucks out along the highway there, playing music, sitting in the back of them, raising heck all night long. They go from there down to Rudders, and the same thing goes on at Rudders. The other day I was down at Rudders, there had to be at least over 100 kids and motorcycles in that parking lot. And they're flying up and down the highway here. And another one of our concerns is the only time I see one of our regional police is down at the funeral home in Anvil or the rest home sitting under the shade trees. We don't see them in town here anymore. We need to go back to Palmyra Police Force. Let Anvil take care of their own problem, because they seem to, they're getting all our attention for stuff that we're paying for. Then another part on my street, the street sweeper now. He goes up and down the middle of the street. He doesn't do the curbs. That's where the stones and stuff wash. That's where the residue lays. That's the part he should be doing, and not just driving up and down the middle of the street. You know, and there's many things that we need to straighten out. Our town is a shame where it is in this stance today. This town has never been so sorry, you know? And like I said, we need to get back to our Palmyra Police Force. We need to start controlling these kids, because our place down in front of our place, and I'll invite Anthony if you guys want to come down and sit on my porch and listen to the drag racing and listen to the motorcycle gang, the groups of motorcycles. If you want to see in the phone, I have pictures of the pothole. I have pictures of them coming up through Lebanon, and they just don't ride together nice. They're revving it up, they're pulling wheel stands, they're carrying on, and sooner or later somebody's going to get hurt. I don't know if you want to see them or not, but they had somebody out on the sidewalk filming them in Lebanon.
Okay, well, we're concerned about Palmyra and Anvil, not Lebanon.
Well, it's blowing over into Palmyra because we have no police around here and they're coming up and down through. There's also another gang that hangs out down at the pizza place down by the grocery outlet. And they hang out there and they go up to the pizza place and get pizza. There's a whole gang of motorcycles. I got pictures of them too if you want to see it. And what they do is after they get their little party stuff and that, they all get on their bikes, they race up through town, they race back down through town. And it's, like I said, it's a free-for-all. I had a pickup truck the other day come down my back alley at 50 miles an hour. And when I told the guy to slow down, he jammed on the brakes. I said, go ahead, dummy, I got your license number.
Okay, when that happens, you need to call the police department.
I did immediately. I did.
Do you have that call logged?
I'd have to go pull it. When did you say you called?
Probably 2 days ago. And it was a silver, and I wasn't sure, it's not a Nissan, it's a Hyundai or whatever, a pickup truck with, you know, the mid-size range one. But we need, like I said, we need to start straightening it out here and stuff like that. I think that we ought to maybe just give the street down there to R. Millers, like we did Click Lewis, let them have that street there, because that looks like it's shut off, we ain't gonna use it no more. You know? There's just so many things in this town right now. And your next big sinkhole is gonna be right at the end of Arch Street, right where it meets Forge. Next time it rains, go down there and look. You can see a big indentation that holds water. And that's gonna probably be the next place it drops in. And but other than that, like I said, this is Lebanon,
Okay.
That does not apply to us, okay?
but this is the motorcycle gangs, not
Okay.
gangs, but people are coming up through Palmyra. So now it concerns you. It's in your town.
Okay, but we
You know?
don't care about a video from Lebanon.
Don't tell
okay?
me that you come here and you want people to bring you stuff and you enjoy it because you just laugh at them and do nothing.
No.
No, we do
but
not.
showing us motorcycles from Lebanon is not
They're the same ones
productive
down here at Cheese's. They're the same ones down at grocery outlets. They're
Okay,
the
then show
same
us a video
ones.
from
That's
that.
why I got pictures of all of them.
Okay,
And
Well, then
that's
we need
why
to
it
see
needs to be
video from-
addressed.
Well, grocery outlet is not in the borough, but then coming up through
And
the
then,
borough does
there's another
affect
thing
us.
about, you want brought that up. We need to make fireworks illegal in this town. Stop these
not-
people from selling them, and then if they don't sell them, the next day they put them on big sale to let's supply the people up so they have them for the rest of the year.
Certainly not disagreeing with you, but that is a state issue. The state allows it. The borough cannot do anything about
Okay,
it.
well then tell them if there's a fire or something, they'll also, if they can prove it's their fireworks, they'll
I'm
be
with ya.
responsible.
I am totally with you.
And then they is the American Legion in the borough? Well, somebody gave them a permit to set fireworks off Sunday, July 5th, the day after July 4th was over.
That was Saturday.
Huh?
Saturday was Saturday, July
July
5th.
5th.
not
Fifth,
Sunday.
okay. And that was ridiculous of the fireworks going off.
Well,
I
a lot
spend
of
the
people
time
do.
at home, the second, third, and all that, trying to keep my animals settled down. And then it's ridiculous that I've gotta spend my time at home to be with my animals and that stuff and can't go nowhere because they're down here setting big fireworks off and they're setting them off next to a shopping center. They're setting them off to a motel behind them that's condemned. They got a car lot there with a grass field. You couldn't pick a better fire zone to do it. And so I'm just so here, like I said, I don't know if anybody else doesn't see these things, but they're very obvious. And like I said, as far as us paying taxes and getting no services, that's theft of services.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
Anybody else for public comment?
Hi, I'm Mary Smith, 137A North Railroad Street. And Dave Koch, also 137 North Railroad.
Just wondering if there was any update on Division Street. I know they had counter up, and just wondering what was, anything going on with that, getting that macadam paved.
That's not on our list for this year.
Well,
We talked about it like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
yeah. Our paver is inoperable right now. So that was one section we were gonna try to pave in-house this year.
Because
We
like I
just- we-
said last year you came by and dug down
Yep.
and you did all that, cut back the grass and made it all ready to pave, and then didn't
And
happen.
it didn't happen.
It's like it gets filled, like the potholes they're pretty significant in that alley, and it seems like it gets filled.
With black tar and
Yeah,
stuff.
like maybe every other month or something, but then after a couple of significant
Rains.
rains, I mean, it's just back again, so. And what this gentleman was saying too, by Lazaro's.
That is a
That
big,
pothole is pretty significant too. In the evening, I would think if someone's driving down that alley and they're not aware of that, they're gonna bottom out pretty bad.
no.
Yeah,
So I was just wondering if there was any update on Division.
We'll check it out, please.
Yeah.
We'll check it out.
You've already had your turn, you
Okay.
need to say it.
We'll check it out.
You're shutting me up because you did it.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
whatever.
Good job.
Your
So
turn.
is that, yeah, I mean, is that something,
Is that something you're considering doing?
yeah, or-
Are we able? Yeah.
Yeah.
Try it.
We are.
Yeah, now that we're staffed appropriately to do it, we just need to get the paver running, and then we'll be able to do stuff like that.
Do you know how long it'll take to get the paver ready?
I do not.
What's up with the paper? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We'll just keep checking back.
Anybody else for public comment? No? Okay. All right, closing public comment period number 1. Moving on to the consent calendar. Following agenda items will be acted upon by a single motion unless a member of Borough Council wishes a specific item to be voted on separately. Approve the minutes of the July 8th, 2025 Borough Council meeting. Approve payment of all bills listed on the June 2025 detailed checklisting report. And approve the treasurer's report for the period June 1 through June 30th, 2025.
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right. Action and discussion items. Road closure request, 2025 holiday parade. Discussion on if appropriate. Suggested motion to authorize the closure of the roads necessary to assemble and conduct the Palmyra Holiday Parade on Saturday, November 15th, 2025, from 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., utilizing the following parade route beginning at 11 a.m. Beginning at the intersection of West Cherry and South Mark for the parade to line up, continuing in front of the Palmyra Middle School on West Cherry Street, east on East Cherry, north on South Green, west on East Main, south on South Locust, and disbanding at the Palmyra Middle School. Any issues with that? Sergeant Strick? I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. President's report, the only thing that I have is I heard Friday is supposed to be the most humid of the day of this week. So, stay cool. Stay cool and stay hydrated. All right, takes us to the mayor's report.
I just want the town to understand that when some of these items are discussed, when we come up here and we talk about the minutes from the last meeting, they discussed bills, and they also, the treasury report. And it seems like they go through it very quickly right here, that they had approved them. But what happens is that information, just to let you all know, is sent out to them before the meeting so they can go through these thick books of all the things that they need to review on the month for the 2 weeks. Well, we do it once a month, but this ones that come through. So I just want everybody to know that what they do appears very quickly, but what they have to do prior to the meeting is they have the opportunity to go through all of this stuff to find out any questions or issues they have with what has been spent or has been sent out by the borough, the groups and everything. So I just want you to know that what appears to go quickly here takes a lot of time prior to these meetings that these folks do. So I just wanted to let everybody know, because sometimes I sit here and you think of like, oh boy, and I don't know if the public understands all that, but there is a lot of work that goes in ahead of time. So I just wanted you all to know that. So I really appreciate the folks that come in here and come up and give their public opinions at these meetings. I think it's fantastic. Continue to do that because it will help the borough understand what's going on out there, and we can become better because of it. Thank you.
Thank you for that clarification. All right, financial statement. Everybody has that in front of them for the month of June. Any questions on that? Comments? Discrepancies?
We're halfway through the year, and kudos already, because expenses are under and income is over. So,
That is a blessing.
yes, so, again, the expenses being under is what I always like to see.
Fire department. I don't think we have anything right now. Anything?
No.
Okay, that takes us to the library report. Everybody had the library report at their seats tonight. Any questions on that? It was also emailed out earlier in the week, last week.
No, I only got it,
Oh, no, I'm thinking
no.
of the last one.
Meeting was only last Tuesday, so I got it to Roger Friday, Saturday, something like that.
It was a very nice book sale, again, as always.
Yes.
Checked it
I'm
out.
anxious to hear the final, but as of Tuesday at the meeting, they had a nice amount. So anybody who went to the library book sale at First United Methodist, thank you.
All right, that takes us to the police report.
Nothing too major, but as far as fireworks, there in the borough, we have in our system 8 fireworks calls. 3 were called in by residents and officers addressed 5 on their own. So we were out addressing, just because you don't see it doesn't mean it ain't happening. But we were addressing.
Don't do it again.
We were out addressing the issue.
It's not public discussion right now, okay?
Well, he's looking at me talking.
He is just addressing what you brought up earlier,
Okay.
okay?
So we are out actively addressing issues. We will address traffic issues, but we will address your concerns.
Thank you.
I have a question. What's the latest, kind of update with getting other types of boroughs, townships? Has North Londonderry been talked to at all?
That you would have to talk to the commission or Chief Winters.
Okay.
That I'm not involved in.
Okay.
Does anyone have any questions on the packet for the month that we got? No? Okay. Anything else for police department? Okay. All right, rec commission did not meet this month. Solicitors report?
Nothing from her.
Okay. Takes us to zoning and codes enforcement. There are 2 hearings scheduled for Monday, August 11th at 5:30 for the zoning hearing board. One of which is 740 West Main Street, Gelato and Company. They're seeking a special exception for substitution or replacement of a non-conforming use under section 380-128A and 380-139B of the Palmyra Borough zoning ordinance to establish a proposed multi-vendor indoor antique flea market bazaar-style farmer's market in the main building and vendor overflow storage in the garage building within the highway commercial and town residential district. And the other hearing is for 633 West Walnut Street, Derek and Samantha Caraway. They are seeking an appeal of the zoning officer's interpretation regarding the method of calculating impervious cover or a variance of the total permitted impervious cover per section 380-14.g. And they're also seeking a variance of section 380-76.b1 to allow a 6-foot high fence in the front yard when only 3 feet is permitted. Comments, thoughts, anything on those?
Does Borough Council wish to take a position on either of the applications?
Let zoning do what zoning does.
Yeah. I do have though a concern, I like the idea of taking the old, putting the market in. I worry about the egress and ingress to that property. It's not the easiest property to get in and out of, so, but I'm good with zoning doing that.
Yeah, you can enter that, you don't have to enter it off of 422 though, you can
Enter
enter
it
it
off
off.
just
No,
Front
yeah,
Street.
that's what I mean,
Yeah.
because it sits back,
Well, it's, next to the auto place too, you can go in.
yeah. So, that was my only concern with that one.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with letting zoning do their thing.
Make that a bigger entrance and parking.
Well, it's not
There's
that,
really
it's
a lot
that,
of space to
when,
do that.
yeah. I mean, granted, it's not a supermarket, so you're not gonna have 50 people going in and out all the time, the cars going in and out all the time, it's more, more individualized kind of shopping experience, so.
Any other thoughts or comments on those? All right, that takes us to the Borough Manager's report.
Okay, first item's the North Grant Street Bridge sinkhole. PennDOT did close the open depression as they promised, so we'll keep an eye on it and see how long it lasts, but at least it's closed up. The second item is, in your packet, you received copies of the non-uniform and the police pension audit from the Department of the Auditor General for the period 2023 to 2024. I don't believe there was any issues with, no issues whatsoever. So everything's clean.
Actually, the report says January 1st, 2023, but it was 2021, 2022 to 2024. Yeah, so it was all 4 years, but they only gave us the report as of the last year of their audit.
And that'll be the last Palmyra police, or is there one more yet?
No, that should be it. The only issue we would have to address in our next audit is the Palmyra Police pension funds have not been transferred to the regional yet. That's on PMRS. We have no control over that, so we'll probably have to show in the next audit that
Which
that was
was-
done.
Which they were the cause of any issue we've ever had before because of their,
Yes.
what they needed to supply us with.
Yes, but the money is still there, all the money will be transferred, plus the interest that it has earned while it's been waiting to be transferred over, so they're still 106% funded, so the pension's in good shape. The borough's pension is funded at 92%.
It's still pretty good compared to some other.
It is not a cautionary issue for the Auditor General's office, so we're doing good.
The last item I was hoping to actually show you on our screen, but I got the blue wheel of death on the laptop here, so that's not gonna happen. So, basically, some of you may remember this, but there's a goofy alley situation, basically between the west end of Maple and Cherry and Lingle and Windsor in that block. Pear Alley on some of our older maps used to hug the back property lines on the Windsor Street property, so their backyard would touch the alley. Well, the alley's not there anymore. There's another alley further to the west where there's also stormwater and some other things, and then there's another alley unnamed that was extended out to Lingle Avenue. So what it did is it created this big rectangle of wasteland in there, and we're trying to figure out how to deal with that, because we're getting stormwater complaints about it, so we have to solve some of that, and just none of our maps are accurate, so I spent quite a bit of time trying to find old mapping and things like that. I found an old 1956 map that shows Pear Alley where it should be according to all our ordinances and documents. And then somewhere in the period, early 70s, mid 70s is when the original Pear Alley was kind of cut off and then moved around to where it is now. But I can't find any documentation anywhere in any ordinances, minutes, anything of why that was done that way or how it was done. Joselle's helping us with this. Brenda she went on and researched all the deeds for the adjacent properties back to the start that we could find.
1913.
Anybody's living, any residents who might have been there for a long time that would give us any, even if it's oral history?
Yeah, there is one we might be able to.
That would be Joanne's parents?
Yeah.
Yeah. But they didn't take it until late 70s.
Oh, so they might not even know.
No, everybody that, it is a gentleman by the name of Rudolph Behm, B-E-H-M, who subdivided that property and sold off lots. And that's as far back as we can go. What is it called? West Lawn Edition.
West Lawn Edition was the name of the plan, which we weren't able to locate, so.
So what happens if we have no, what happens?
Yeah, well, that's what we're trying to figure out. Where the original Pear Alley was, we have a sewer main under it. So that makes sense to
Okay,
me,
that
because it
does.
makes sense, you put an
Right.
alley in, you're gonna have your sewer main there, that makes perfect sense. Where the stormwater stuff is within the new part of the alley, because where Pear Alley used to be is now grass, and it needs to be mowed, and our guys have to remember to try to mow it and things like that. I think some of the neighbors mow it too, but it's just one of those goofy things.
So there's an alley,
Yeah,
and all of a sudden it only goes halfway and
And then it
scoots
went
over
over.
and then
Yeah.
goes out.
yeah. And like I said, we have no documentation here that anything was done officially over the years, so. And the thing is, like, there's a stormwater situation there that we've been trying to deal with for years, but come to find out, the pipes aren't connected like we thought they were, so. And where the stormwater pipes would be are in the new portion of the alley, where the stone portion of the alley is now, so we have.
Are these houses adjacent to this that feel as
Yeah, it's
those
like
are
the
their
back, the
lots?
backyards go to it, and it's just a really weird situation. I even found some old maps from I think that was right around 1980, there was a map, somebody had actually put question marks on the parcels around that too, because I guess they didn't know then either, so.
And then they just left it.
We just left it alone, yeah, it's,
Well, nobody's complaining, we're just gonna let it go.
Yeah, well,
And from that little jig where we couldn't just abandon that as at the alley
well,
and give it to the driveway.
yeah, Joselle said there's some things we can do depending on what we end up deciding we need to do there. Like you could repave the original Pear Alley again and then offer quitclaim deeds for the rest, but we don't know if we can get the stormwater in that
Right.
same right of way or not too. So it's just gonna kind of depend, but it's one of those goofy things that you want to get cleaned up, so.
Makes you wonder if they put stormwater in the newer part of Hare. Why didn't somebody question that when they did that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
You know, back in those days, people
Just did it.
they just did things.
Yeah.
You know,
Um,
it makes it tough down the road where we sit, like, why is it that way?
That's the one I was emailing with, right?
Yes,
I
that's
thought
how
so.
this all started
I
because of
thought
the
so.
stormwater complaint
Because
that we
Pear
got.
Alley sounded
Yeah.
familiar.
Yep.
Okay.
And it's funny because the intersecting alley is plumb on all the old maps, but when we actually
it's-
had,
Peach on the old maps.
yes,
Now it's Plum.
yes. When we had Ed Kaler surveyed it for us. I don't remember when, it was several years ago.
It was D.L. Reber.
Yeah, D.L. Reber did it then. And, yeah, plum is labeled as peach because that's what the deeds reference it as. But, so it's just, and peach is actually between maple and oak. So,
So how did the alley names change?
that ended down.
So we pulled a pen out.
Apparently somebody didn't like plums and they wanted peaches. I don't know.
Peach.
It's a peach of
So Giselle wanted the deeds because they can kind of do a title search to see if they can draw any conclusions, but. So, and Mike Nouse, the borough engineer, is also looking at stormwater in that area too, to figure out what we can do, so hopefully we can come up with a plan and then decide which side of the rectangle to abandon or whatever, I don't know.
Well, it looks like there's garages built on one part of it now.
It's, well, it's pretty.
That's on the old Pear.
It's on the
Oh,
old,
that's it.
yeah, it's on the old pair, yeah. So. Other than that, I think that's it for me.
Anybody else have anything for Roger? Borough manager, on the borough manager report? No? Okay. No communications, any other business? Sergeant? Nothing?
Nope.
Tom?
Nope.
Marcus?
Nope.
Yeah, I wanted to bring up something. So I brought it up last time, and it's right across from Rita's, and where they do all the
Yes.
detail work.
keep forgetting the walk.
I saw that they painted a white line there, but that is still like, no one walks there. You can't walk there. It's so close to the road. You can't even ride a bike. And I've gone up and down Main Street now a couple times this week, and I just think something more needs to be done. Why is it that you have sidewalk and then nothing, and then you have sidewalk? Like, what happened there? Did they take it out? Did we give them permission? Did we give that to them and they gave us money for it? I do think something, because nobody can walk there. Nobody can, because if they do want to walk there, they have to walk then onto, like, higher up into the parking lot.
So I think that was always a drive-in, because
There
when
was
we,
ever
No.
sidewalk there.
It was,
I don't
wasn't it a
think.
Hess gas station?
No,
No.
no, across the street.
So I remember when I was a kid that
Between
it
the
used to
very
be a
old-
sidewalk,
between
and I
Macy's
used to
and-
ride bike down it and walk, and then it got removed.
Whatever the other.
I don't remember when it got removed, but I do remember, yeah.
And
I
that-
do remember that there was a sidewalk there, because I used to walk down there when I was a kid and even ride bike. But now it's no
It's a
longer
goofy
there.
sidewalk, cause I drove down and looked, there's one section that's closer to the highway of regular sidewalk, then they have their two white lines, and it curves up and then goes to another section that's up
Yeah.
higher over by
They-
AutoZone.
They
Or
have the
by-
majority of
There's
that
auto.
land there, and then if you wanna walk by, you're right close to the street, that's not safe. So.
And there's a
I-
lot of times I drove through there, the trucks and that they have there, they have them backed up
Yeah.
to those lines.
I really do think something needs to be done about that. I don't like to nitpick things, but like, no one can walk down that street. They can only walk on that one side, and that's not fair to all the residents at all. And if they do want that, and they want to be able to have cars there, then we need to come up with a solution that's better, because what they have there now is, that's not safe. Might be good for them, but it's not good for us.
Are the cars parked over top of the white lines they
It's
designated?
all the way back onto the white line, but no, not over it, like right.
Okay, so
there.
right.
but it's such a little
You walk
space.
there, you're getting a bath if it's raining.
It's such a little space for anybody to walk that it's laughable, in my opinion. When you got a sidewalk, then like just in front of you and just behind you, that is a sidewalk. As far as I'm concerned, there should be a sidewalk there. That's Main Street for people to walk up and down. They should be able to enjoy that. So I don't know when the sidewalk got removed, but I do remember it being there at some point. Because they used to, I remember they used to park on the sidewalk, like the cars used to be like on the sidewalk.
They
What was
macadammed
that?
over it.
What
I'm
was
trying to
that?
think what it was way back when we had our
Yeah.
barbecues and stuff.
I remember
before
there was
that.
an old car wash there.
Way
Used to
back,
go around in
yeah.
the back to the alley, it was one like single lane car wash.
I forget.
Okay, what,
Do our ordinances say anything? What do our sidewalk ordinances say? Mr. Zeiders, please stop commenting.
Yeah, everybody has to provide a sidewalk within the borough.
Yeah.
Is it any more specific than that?
Well, I mean, there's specs for it and whatnot, I mean.
As far as
does it-
how far from the road and,
No, because you could,
Setback.
like, you could send them a notice and say you must install curb and sidewalk. Well, they can put a curb with a sidewalk right next to it, 5 feet wide. They've designated a 5-foot wide strip now.
But
It wouldn't change the actual
so
condition.
there's no,
I know in the early 2000s, there was something done where everyone in the borough had to fix their sidewalks and repair it. And my house, we had to do that as well too. So there has to be something, you have to maintain your sidewalk, you have to make sure this, you know. It just blows my mind how there's no sidewalk there and it seems just to be okay and they just keep going. The only thing that I could think of is that, did we give that to them at some time in years past? Or did they just take it? Did they take the sidewalk out? Because there was a sidewalk there. There was, because they had sidewalks on both sides.
let me look into
And
that.
so they took it out. Just when did they take it out? And did we give them permission? If we didn't give them permission, then, yeah.
yeah, that I can't tell you. I can't tell you that I remember there being a sidewalk there, but obviously you would remember as a kid.
Yeah, no, I do, because they parked on it, and I remember always having to go out and around the cars.
Yeah.
And it wasn't safe, and I know they didn't like that, and, of people walking onto that area and being around the cars.
They just macadammed over the sidewalk.
Well, no,
It's
because
pretty
it literally,
flat
if
now.
you remember when
okay,
we
flat.
did,
Yeah.
if you remember when we did the Paha chicken barbecues there. Remember, people would just drive in and they wouldn't even get out of the car, they would just drive in and drive out.
I don't remember if there was
So
a
it's
sidewalk
kind of
there
a
or not.
peak.
Well, but
Still a sidewalk
no,
there?
there was at least a very large portion of it was drivable now.
Maybe it had like a little ramp
Yeah.
there that was sidewalk that you could, but I do remember something. I just think that, we need to talk with them or say something that needs to be fixed up, because that's just not sufficient.
I think we should find out,
Yeah, Roger, can you look into seeing,
probably along with the Plum Alley thing.
looking back and seeing?
I don't know how we would even find,
There's no way you're gonna find it,
no, I mean,
you know.
researching old minutes, I mean.
That's about
I
the
don't-
only
And
thing,
who
but-
knows if anything's even gonna be in there. And we did already talk to them, and we said if they striped that they designated an area as the sidewalk, it's already asphalted, it was okay. But if council wants to do something different, like if you want to see a concrete sidewalk there, well, then that's a different conversation.
I just think that how can anybody walk on that main street? Like, unless now you're gonna go onto their property more, and I'm sure they don't want people walking up into there more. But, I mean, how can you, they give us that little bit of area, you're gonna take your kid on that little strip there? I know I'm not gonna take my kid walking down there.
Roger, I'll pull my Google Earth up. You can actually go back through history on the satellite to see if there was anything there, and I think they're going up back to like 2000 with the satellite images.
Yeah, but I don't remember, I mean,
You're
if
gonna have
that
to go
is,
back further.
yeah.
If it will,
because
I'll check.
I don't remember that ever coming across council in the last at least 15
I'll check Google
years.
Earth when I'm sitting with my laptop one week.
Something to do.
They could have just done it on their own. And then just, unfortunately, they just haven't been checked or something, but
When you say the sidewalk was there before, was there a curb too?
Or was it just the
Or
cement?
was it just,
like-
all I remember is that it was a sidewalk, and I would ride bike, and I would see other people ride bike, and then once they started putting the cars, and the cars would be like on the sidewalk area, we had to go up and around the cars.
So I'm wondering if it wasn't a sidewalk that sort of dipped down, like, with no curbing, and then maybe
There's
they
still
There's one you could
repaved.
drive over it.
Yeah, maybe they repaved and didn't, I mean, I guess that's a
And did it connect to
possibility.
the property next?
Yeah, don't know.
But also aren't there codes that they have to have, if they were a sidewalk, they have to, like, I can't get rid of my sidewalk in front of my house, you know?
No, but if there was no sidewalk there, there's nothing to replace. You know what I mean?
But don't you still have to have a way for pedestrians to walk up and down the street when you have two sidewalks there? Isn't there
Yeah,
something?
those sidewalks don't even line up.
In the isn't there something in the
So
codes?
Anthony, what you're saying is you want them to connect their sidewalk to the AutoZone, is that the AutoZone or Advanced Auto?
That's Advanced
Advanced
Auto.
Auto, okay.
That's how it was.
That would go down right through the center of their parking lot area.
Yeah.
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 So that's what you want us to do? Because we'll contact them and have
Well,
them.
it's not just my decision, I'm bringing them to this, and it's not like it's all on me, I'm trying to say that
'Cause-
I just don't think that is a doable thing, I don't see anybody walking
They,
down.
they
through
have
there.
done what we've asked them to do.
No, I get that, I
Okay,
get
so-
that, but that's, I mean, if
But
you
if it's
ride
not
bike or-
satisfactory to you, do you want them to put a sidewalk in that attaches to the properties next to them?
I think this is something that we need to talk about, and us as a council need to decide what's the best option, but what they did, I mean, if you ride bike or you walk in town, it's laughable.
Okay,
It's such
here's
a
the
little thing.
assignment for every council member till the next meeting. Everybody drive past, everybody look at what it is now, and decide if you want, if what they have done is okay. No comment. That's your last warning. Decide if what they have done, per what Roger and Brenda asked them, is okay, or if you think they need to put an actual sidewalk in place of.
Yeah,
the
and
painted
don't,
lines.
don't drive by, like, you have to walk by or ride your bike, you know, and you have to do that, driving by doesn't, nothing.
Sorry, Anthony, I haven't ridden a bike in about 10 years.
No.
I don't even have one.
Park your car or something
Yeah, I
and
know.
then
I
just
know what you
walk,
mean. I know what
walk
you mean.
down, but you also look at the lines don't even match up to the sidewalks.
No, I remember the line, the lines didn't line up.
And also, it's
Goes at an
so
angle.
close to the street there that it's just not safe as well, too. So when you walk by or ride bike or anything, just take a look at that. I don't wanna create a problem, but I also want something to get fixed, that it's safe for everyone to walk down the street or ride a bike down the street. Cause it's not
Well,
someone
you
like,
can't ride on sidewalks. So, ride a bike, you can't ride a bike on a sidewalk.
well,
So,
I mean,
It's the walking that's the issue, and I agree with you, it should be safe.
I mean, I see some kids riding or a scooter or whatever, I mean, so.
Okay, so everybody check that out to the next meeting, and can you put that on for discussion for the next
Yes.
meeting, please?
the other question I have, you mentioned that you can't walk on the north side. Why can't you? Is there no sidewalk there either?
The north side.
You said across the street, nobody can walk on that side, so you have to walk on this side.
Oh, no, you mean where the Rita's is there?
Rita says a sidewalk.
Yeah, Rita's that side, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's just that where everyone I see is over on the other side always.
That was Hess's.
There's where the Hesses was.
That's what I thought.
Okay. All right, we'll discuss it in 2 weeks, Anthony.
Thanks.
You're welcome. All right, any other business? Roger, Brenda, anything? Okay, all right. Takes us to public comment period number 2. Please state your name and address for the record and try to limit your comments to 3 minutes.
Bill Siders, 333 East Main Street. And Beth, I'd like to give you a little piece of advice. Next election comes up, you won't be there. And we're gonna make sure.
You're not the only one voting for it.
We're gonna make
You're not
sure
the
of
only
it.
one voting.
And that. I'm bringing up a couple more things. The old shoe factory down there needs tore down It's a building of black mold.
Which shoe factory?
Arch
Where are you
Street,
talking? Okay.
Arch
that-
and Harrison.
Okay, thank you.
The whole outside of the building, you can see the black mold coming down the side of it. And when the other people owned it, the borough made them get out there and pressure wash the building. It's like a forest on top with grass growing.
That building was remediated, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
So the Board of Health needs called or somebody to go in there to condemn it and tear it down.
Well, it's private property, so but I know that the current.
It's a health hazard.
I know that the current owners did remediate it.
Yeah.
So if there's something else going on,
It's a total health hazard. They trim the hedges once a year, whether they need them or not, and stuff. And as far as down here at the Cliff Lewis detail lot and stuff like that, where that one piece of sidewalk is up there in front of, Lisa's, that was put in when they put the notches in for a handicap. The sidewalk used to be way back when Turkey Hill was there, if you remember that.
Yes, I do remember that turkey.
And the sidewalk went straight down through. And in the pictures I got of that, you are not safe. They put one white line there. They didn't designate 4 feet as a sidewalk. They put one white line so they don't back their trucks up no further than that. And if you're walking down there in the rain, you're done. You're gonna be soaked and that. And then on top of that is where they turned it to the right to go over to match to Advances there, it's skinny, it's going through there, and behind them trucks there and at Advances, that's a junk forest. They don't clean up, there's trees, there's junk, there's old limbs laying back there, it's like a dump.
Where's that? Where? Behind Advanced Auto.
Yep. Hooked right to that detail lot.
Okay.
And another thing that the borough should start looking into is these apartments in town. They've let too many apartments be put in a two-sided house. They have no parking for their vehicles and stuff like that. And then they have, like the one next to us has 4 apartments, parking for 4 cars. Well, if there's a him and her, there's 8 cars. The one across the street has parking for 10, has 10 apartments, has parking for 6 cars. And if you're talking about 10 apartments, that's 20, that's 10, that's 14 more cars out there. And that they should go through these and start cutting them down and tell them they're gonna have to make bigger apartments out of them if they don't have the parking.
Is that the ones that are on Main Street, if the car's parking in the grass? Well, they kind of turned it.
From
into like
everywhere,
gravel.
yeah, down through there and stuff and that.
Yeah, that's down from Rita's going towards the square.
And you
But
cannot,
the-
and since they took the light out of Grant Street, that is the most unsafe place. When you pull out of there, you just hang on to the wheel and floor it and hope nothing's coming. Because you can't see what the cars parked beside each other there.
That's something that was all grass there, and I guess they kind of turned it into like a
And-
parking lot or something.
Yeah, there's
And
actually
as far
two
as
sets
the,
of curbs there.
Yeah,
so it's weird.
yeah, it like.
As
that
far as
should
the
be
detail
grass.
place, there was curb there at one time. Because I remember all the way back to the Huffman House. And that was nice down through there. Curb, it was twin kiss. It was curb and sidewalk the whole way.
Yes.
And what they did is instead of
Twin
making,
Peaks, no, that was down by Cliff
instead of
Lewis.
making just an entrance, they just cut the curb and the whole thing so they can go in and out anywhere,
Yep,
you know.
I think they did the same.
And, I do have another, if you'd like to see it later, of all the kids down here at Sheets's. Like I said, they back their pickup trucks up to the highway, they have music going full blast, they're sitting on the tailgate yelling at the cars going by. And it gets pretty ugly at night down there at times. And then if it gets bad there, they go to Rutter's, like I said, in Lebanon there. There's at least 100 of them there at night. And I mean, they got tailgates open with stereos blasting, you can't even hear your car running when you go by.
Yeah, I'd like to ask you again, and I know I've said this before,
Yes.
when you see this stuff, you need to call the police.
I do.
Okay, I'm just saying,
But you
continue
know
doing
what?
that.
It
Continue
takes
doing
too
that.
long to come from Anvil to get up to Palmyra to
They're
do
not
something
always in
about it.
Anvil.
They are always in Anvil. I'll
passed
start
3 of them.
taking pictures
I
and
have
dates and
seen
times.
3 of them in Palmyra just the other day. okay?
Well, I'll start taking pictures more often and getting the dates and the times. Because every time I go down through there, I figure that's why they're drag racing. They know they're good till they get to the
I see them
Anvil.
at both places.
You know.
They're doing a good job.
And like I said, that building down there needs something done with it. It's black mold everywhere, and there's people sick all around there. I know people that live around there, and there's all the time somebody sick there, and I believe it's the mold going into the air.
Okay.
Yep,
Well,
okay.
thank you for bringing up an old place called Twin Kiss. That was such a great place in
was.
town. I miss it
So do
a
I.
lot.
I miss the old A&P.
The old A and P. Well, don't know about that, but anyway, Twin Kiss, I do remember it. You made some memories come into my head.
that.
Is that the late nineties?
Goldneckers owned that one.
Anybody else for public comment?
Mary Smith, 137A North Railroad Street. One other thing I wanted to bring up about caring cupboards. If the police could really pay attention to the people parking in the yellow lines,
Yes, yes.
drives me insane because I can't see to get out.
That's true.
Yeah,
Or they're
Division
parking over
Street.
the yellow.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's
And a
all
lot-
on Railroad Street there by the Rainbow Snow down to
Yeah.
Karen Cut. It's all, and
Yeah,
I
they
brought
need
that up
parking in the yellow.
once before, it's all in the yellow, they're parking, you can't even go down an alley, you think you're gonna get
Or,
hit.
yeah, or they park in the alley to go into
Yeah.
caring cupboard. It's
Yeah.
just not safe.
Yeah, that needs to be, railroad, it's extremely bad. That
It's hard to
needs-
pull out
And I
from
have
any alley.
called
Yeah,
It is.
several times, but I don't think anything's ever been done. Or, yeah, so, yeah. But, that really needs to be addressed. And I've talked to people when they get out of their car and saying, that's not a parking place.
Yep.
Well, why not? And I'm like, it's a yellow line. Well, what does that mean? I said, yellow lines mean no parking. And they like, but there's no sign. I'm like, the yellow line is the sign.
yeah.
Right out in front.
Did they not get a license in
A lot,
Pennsylvania?
yeah, a lot of people, the new bookstore right there in Railroad Street, there's a yellow, they're parking in front of there all the time. And all the way down to Karen Cupboards, constantly they're double parking. And I get it, they wanna go in, but it needs to be safe because there's gonna be an accident.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, hopefully the new one gets built.
Yeah, that'll hopefully alleviate some of that.
Yeah.
Anybody else for public comment?
Gonna keep my mouth shut. Name's Todd Gutschall, 511 East Cherry Street, okay?
Got it.
I think we need to worry more about the water issues on Ridge Road than we do about the white line at Clicklo's Detail Center. Anybody that's bright enough knows they can go in between the cars in the building. I've never had a problem with them yelling at me. They've always been courteous when I walk through there, and I'll be doggone if I'm walking out near that road with my two dogs. So I think we need to worry about water issues, whether it's there or over here on this alleys you talked
No,
about earlier.
no, and I get that, I appreciate that, but like in a borough, there's many issues and many problems, and water, that is a very, very important issue
The
and
longer we
problem.
fix that
But-
water
but-
problem, the more we're gonna
No,
cost the
no,
taxpayer.
And I'm not fighting you on that, and we all know that, but the thing though, there's other things too in a borough that we need to answer and we need
You
to
need
talk
to deal with
about.
the e-bike, the adults riding their e-bikes
But-
on the sidewalks, running over the pedestrians that are trying to walk on the sidewalks.
So, there's many things that we need
I
to
can
talk
use my
about.
cane and smack them if you want.
But, so, we need to address all of them, and
Don't catch a charge.
I won't get caught. I have a
So-
borough council member lives near me, he won't see a thing.
so I just was saying that there's several issues in the borough that we need to address.
That
The
line,
The line is one of them, because people do wanna walk down there, and
We
how
do
can they
walk down there.
Water is one, the sewage, and that is important. We're not saying it's not important, but we need to talk about everything.
There
The-
are other-
The yellow lines of people parking and double parking, we need to talk about
That's a
all of
different
this.
issue.
They're all issues, no matter if it's small or big, and
We
we
need to
need
get
to
rid of those
address that.
e-bikes off the
No
sidewalks.
issue, if someone brings an issue, we need to address it and talk about it. We can't say, no, that doesn't matter, you know? So we need to address it all. That's why we're here. We talk about it, and then we hear from you as well. We're not saying that the sewage problem doesn't matter. It does. It matters a great deal. Stormwater. It matters a great deal.
Please don't let us have a sewage issue too.
Sorry.
Don't jinx it.
Sorry.
That'll be
But-
next.
But we just need to address them all, and we're not trying to downplay any of them, so I don't want you to
People can't
think
even
that.
hardly walk on the regular sidewalks anymore because the adults are riding their e-bikes at 12, 15 miles an hour, and they'll run you over. They should either give the pedestrians a different walk, which I really don't wanna pay for, or tell them, I don't care if it's a kid riding a bicycle. But some of those adults, they do not move over. There are some responsible e-bike riders.
Is there a specific time, like you see them?
It can be anytime.
It's anytime, I mean.
I know I could call you, I understand that. I'm not complaining because of the police department.
yeah.
But I think that's more
they're-
important
they're
than worrying
blowing
about some
stop
white
signs.
line.
Yeah, they're blowing stop signs, everything.
Oh, yeah, they blow through those,
I about hit one at Grand Street one night.
yeah, they don't stop at the crosswalks. They just keep on going. Everybody's supposed to, they're invincible. They'll never get hit. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I go back up?
I have one issue. I can
Yeah,
tell you.
1 minute.
No, I got one issue. There's a guy every day at 4 o'clock, a pagan, that comes down through here with his bike wide open and,
What road?
down Main Street.
Okay. Past your house?
Yep, right down Main Street, every day about 4 o'clock, and you can hear him coming for blocks.
He's writing it down. Okay, thank you.
He's wearing colors, so you can pick him out easy.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else for public comment? All right, closing public comment period number 2. Borough Council will conduct its next public meetings on Tuesday, August 12th, 2025, and Tuesday, August 26th, 2025, beginning at 7 p.m. Motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Meeting adjourned.
Megan stopped the other day and he pulled his motorcycle. Oh, it was a motorcycle.